Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Tuesday, August 1st, 2023, and I'm going to take a look at the month August and see what's going on with the energies. I am doing recently, I've been doing lives on YouTube in Dutch, and I was just kind of wondering if there are people interested if I should do them in English as well. Although, of course, we are, kind of with these time zones because there's a small group of people watching my English videos, and I'm very happy with that. Thank you very, very, very much for watching my videos, for reacting to my videos. I truly appreciate that. Just let me know if you'd like to do a live and just let me know where you are. So maybe I can just see if maybe I should do one here in the Netherlands in the morning, see which one is the better one for other people, of course, in different countries. But just let me know if you'd like me to do that or start doing that. But for the month of August, the first three cards, and of course I've shuffled them in my Dutch video. The first three cards, I've got the Three of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. So this is the energies happening in August, and we see that it's really a wait and see what's going to happen. I think a lot of things are going to happen, especially with the Ace of Pentacles. This means that there really are going to be concrete new things happening, like a new start. And it's going to be noticeable and people are going to see it. And we've got whitehead influences. Very interesting. I think the whiteheads are going to take over more and more, and we're going to see more and more whitehead actions. Although some actions may seem like they're still dark energies, but it's all part of the chess game, the game it's being played, that needs to be played. And I also want to mention that I see the whiteheads not as light fighting as against dark, but the whiteheads are the balance of light and dark, because that's what we're working towards, the balance between the light and the dark, the yin yang, the combination. So that's how I see the whiteheads, because I do understand that some people are confused with certain actions, like people are, there are horrible things happening to people. Why aren't they stepping up to the plate? Well, first of all, this is a free will zone. So they can't just step in just what the dark energies have been doing, because that's working against the free will zone. Second, we have, of course, soul plans attached to when we come here. So we don't know why someone wants to experience certain things. That has to do with their soul, that has to do with their choices they make, the free will. So sometimes people, it may not seem natural to us, but sometimes people will want to experience certain things that are horrible for certain reasons, to balance things out, because they want to experience on a higher level. We just don't know, because we are looking at it from our perspective, but there are, of course, broader perspectives, especially concerning the soul and what's going on and what's necessary. So it's very difficult to just say, well, they need to step in. And if the whiteheads would just step in, they would take over the role of what the dark energies have been doing for so long. We don't want that. And the whiteheads obviously don't want that. They want humanity to step up themselves. This is about the great awakening of humanity. So we need to understand we are spiritual beings in a human experiences. We are the ones that can create this soul plan. We have created it on a very deep level, and we are the ones with our free will to decide which experience we want to invite into our lives and which we don't. And that I will get into it later on. So I just wanted to mention that as well, that I see the whiteheads as a balanced, and that's why they sometimes do actions that are in the gray area. Because I've noticed that some people are like, well, the whiteheads would never do that, or the whiteheads wouldn't. That's not completely true. You're working with dark energies that will do anything, that will go scorch earth, that have no issues destroying anything in their path. So it's very important to understand that the whiteheads sometimes will have to do things that may seem very gray, that are like, what are they doing? But it's necessary to make sure other things don't get out of hand. So don't see them as these goody two-shoes that only do good things, because that is not how you're going to ultimately get out of this spiritual war that's been going on. we all have to start balancing dark and light. That's why you have to do shadow work, but also light work. I'd like to emphasize that as well. It's a combination. We need to start balancing, and I see the whiteheads as balanced. So we're going to get very interesting things in August. I think a lot of important things are going to happen. This is just wait and see what's going to happen. We've got of course, the Third World Scare, the Third World War that might happen. I don't think it's going to happen that it will actually get to that, but there are going to be interesting energies going on concerning that, so it will seem like things are happening. It's an interesting time, and of course Project Bluebeam, dark energies really want to push that one, but I think the whiteheads will ultimately take over and start true exposure of what's going on with off-worlders and aliens that are actually helping us, and not what the dark energies want with Project Bluebeam, which is to create fear, anxiety, keep people in a certain place so they can control them again. I don't think it's going to get that far. We just don't know if Project Bluebeam will be rolled out or not, but they are working towards that, and maybe it will happen. But if you see things happening and there's this fear energy around it, then you know it's the dark energies, and it's really all fake. So you do not have to be afraid of that at all. So the next 3 cards are about the challenges and what could be blocking humanity, and what is interesting to realize, and that is the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Swords. And this is really about taking responsibility. I have noticed myself, and just in what comes up with me, because the energies are now triggering a lot. Today it's full moon, we have super moon. So the energies, especially the last few months, have been intense. A lot of things are coming through, and it triggers people. And it's triggering the deepest things that need to be healed. And this is about healing. This is about healing our body, really taking good care of ourselves, taking responsibility of our life and not running away from it. That's what the Seven of Swords is, not taking responsibility. And looking at our mental situation and how are things going there? How are we handling things? And I think for humanity, this is really going to be a very trying time. A lot of people are not willing to look at themselves, take the responsibility, and they will get stuck more and more. And you can maybe see it even around us, maybe even, in the truth of community, you can even see the negativity sometimes, the divide and conquer energy, to separate people, to sling mud at each other. It's just, and that's all could also happening in your family, at your work, that people are becoming more negative, sharper, in a very negative way, try to drag you down with it. So this is really a challenge to take responsibility, start taking responsibility for yourself, obviously, and that other people will have to take responsibility for their own negativity. Because that's very important to know. If you can really, if you have in family people that are very negative, they don't see any way out, that is their negativity they need to deal with. That is their responsibility. And it's really a challenge now to remain grounded, really ground yourself, remain clear in what you want, and don't get caught up in all kinds of negative thinking. And of course, stop running away from responsibilities, especially what comes up, because I've noticed in myself a lot of self-defeating tendencies, almost like you want to destroy yourself. I do think that comes from deep things like, former lifetime, past lifetimes, maybe future lifetime, because ultimately there is no time. But I do think that the dark energies are, of course, self-destructive. Their entire plan, and I've talked about this, their end goal ultimately will lead to self-destruction. That's what they're focused on. And we do have dark tendencies in ourselves as well. And it's about balancing them out and healing them. So a lot of self-destructive tendencies are now coming up. You can see it, how people treat themselves, how they treat their body. Some people are completely giving up and just doing whatever, because really look around us, the world is falling apart. All kinds of ways of looking at things, and it's now time not to run away from our responsibilities, but understanding that we really need to step into our powers, fully embrace that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we are the creators of our lives and what experience we will draw in. And it's very important to understand that. So that's going to be a humongous challenge. And of course, the advice, which is also interesting. We have the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the 5 of Pentacles. These two cards are quite heavy. This just means that a lot of things are going to happen. So following the advice, things will speed up. I think that you can really truly heal a lot in a short amount of time because of the energies, because of this energy is now happening that's really changing things. It's like we have this supportive energy now with everything that's coming in to really get through these things. And this is very important. Not taking responsibility for other people, not trying to take on things that are not from us. Very important to understand, especially when you're highly sensitive, that you're not going to take on anything that is not meant for you. Give back the responsibility of the life of other people to themselves. And what they're going to do with it, and whether they're going to get out of it or not, or completely implode, so to speak, or explode, that's a way as well. That is up to them. What they're going to do with their lives is up to them, but you cannot protect them anymore. It's not your responsibility. You're not really helping people by taking away certain responsibilities, because really you're taking away the opportunity for them to step into their own power. And it's very important. You are responsible for yourself. You are not responsible for the well-being the emotional well-being of a mature person. They are responsible for how they feel, what they do, what they're doing in their life. Of course, you have a responsibility to be as authentically as possible, and of course not create damage or hurt in any way. But if you truly are connected with yourself, that's not going to happen. But do not take the responsibility of people in your surroundings or in your family onto yourself, which is not your responsibility. You are not responsible for someone else's feelings when they are mature people. They should be able to handle that. You need to step away from that and focus on yourself. Don't take everything on your shoulder. And also, this is a very important card. This is about a feeling of lack. Lack in money, lack in love, feeling lonely, putting yourself out in the cold. Very important to see if these things are still in your energy. If you still have this feeling that everything's falling apart, world is falling apart, you don't have any hope left. These are all convictions you can turn around, you can look at differently, and you can feel through it. Because usually there's this feeling of lack behind it, or this feeling that you don't deserve things. That's why the financial part of your life is not working out, and right now financially it is tough. So these things are now coming up. You could be in a situation that you don't have enough money, and it's very important to feel through it, to see the shadow work you can do with that. What kind of ideas do I have? Do I believe that I am an abundant spiritual being that can create whatever I want? Or if that's the case, you wouldn't have these feelings of lack, or that you don't have enough. So look at those feelings. Really go deep in what is going on, what comes up right now. But that's really the advice, to let go of these old belief systems that there isn't enough because there is more than enough. So let go of responsibilities that are not your own, and truly feel like you are abundant. You can create whatever you need, that there is more than enough. Again, it's about self-love and dealing with any tendencies you have to sabotage yourself in all kinds of levels. So this month can be, especially for healing, this will be a very important month. That's the feeling I'm getting. And we're going to see that around the world as well. And the last three cards are about the end of August. We have Temperance, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the 5 of Wands. So there will be some fighting. Obviously, I do believe some people will not be able to handle all these things that will be coming out, and some people, it will be very tough for them. So there will, of course, be people fighting against this narrative, and the dark energies obviously will still hoping in their minds that they can hold on to certain things when they can't. It's falling apart. But also in humanity, there will be people fighting against this change. They don't want to change. They are afraid of change. They don't believe that they can change. They want to hold on to what they know. And it's very important, especially when you're very working consciously with your energies, to use discernment. That's the Queen of Swords. Use your discernment also with what's coming out, because of course the dark energies can still have a certain narrative they want to come out. Feel if it's true for you, if it works for you. Really use your discernment, but there's going to be a lot of healing in this month. Temperance is about bringing back balance and healing. So the feeling I'm getting that at the end of August, I think this will be an incredible opportunity for a lot of people to have healed things, which of course, if people are starting to heal and stepping into their power, we're going to see that in the reality. We're going to see changes. And I think humanity and the world will heal. There's going to be a lot of healing done this month. A lot of changes are going to come through and are being made. Then we have, of course, discernment, making choices, being assertive. I think more and more people are speaking up in a very, authentic way, because expressing is one thing, but expressing authentically, with a loving energy behind it is going to be very important. And you can just say no, not comply with anything on a very solid, strong, loving way. Just because you are expressing yourself lovingly doesn't mean that that it's like a weakness or that people can just step over you. You can be very strong from a loving energy and just say, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We will not be complying with anything. That's what the Queen of Swords is as well. If she is completely in her power, that she can say things, be sharp in a way, but she's not to be messed with. But it's not going to be in an aggressive way, in a negative way, or trying to tear other people down so they can bring themselves up. That's not what the true energy of the Queen of Swords is all about. It's really about speaking your own mind authentically from a loving place and just stay with that. And that is a great way to also open up conversations with other people without attacking them or pushing them in a certain corner, so they won't be able, they won't be attacking you or pushing you in a corner if you really come from a very strong, loving place. If you truly are in your power, other people will, on an unconscious level or a conscious level, will step back. They will feel that energy. So as long as you're still, working maybe in this energy, then people will pick that up and will react on that energy. So it's very important that we start really working with our own energy. But there's going to be a lot of healing done at the end of August. Discernment, there will of course be fighting. There will be certain people fighting tooth and nail not to change, not to change their ways. I do believe that the timelines are separating, and we're going to be seeing that. And of course the dark energies will try to hold on to what they've got, but it's a losing game that they're not going to get anywhere. So I want to leave it at this and hope to see you in another video. Bye.